feel like there's no respect. There's no respect in the industry, right? I feel like it's a lot of. This week I dealt with multiple instances of disrespect, right? One of them I handled. I ain't even gonna say I handled it wrong. With the context of the situation, I handled it the way it needed to be handled. But he got put in his place, right? The other one, it was mutual. I say it was like mutual combat with each other. We both apologized to each other the next morning and shit, and we laughed about it. And we was both like, bro, I was on bullshit. He was like, I was on bullshit too, man. But see, that one kind of got rectified. The first one happened at Eagle Steel up in Louisville, Kentucky. Man, I'm picking up a core down there. If you're familiar with Eagle Steel in Louisville, Kentucky, the way the parking lot is set up, they share a common loading area with another warehouse that they sit directly across from each other, man. They probably about 200 feet from each other, right? 200 to 300 feet from each other. They sit directly across from each other, right? So this particular day, man, you got, once Eagle Steel gets busy, those trucks tend to stack too high along the side of the road to finish tarping and securing their loads. All right, so I get to this day, I check in, it was a truck in their load. When it was going time to back, I had to come in. Usually you can pull at a 45-degree angle and get straight and do your shit and get right in there off one shot, right? Today they had two trucks stacked too high. The place across the street had some of their product stacked along the road also. So I had to pull up, get my trailer going the way I needed it to go, pull up, adjust my back, and then pull up, adjust my back, line up with my trailer, and then go into the bay, right? So I done that. When I go up for my adjustment, I had to pull up, not in the garage, pull up to the garage, right? Of the other warehouse to get inside the bay I'm trying to get into, right? So I do that. When I pull up to the bay, it's a guy in there welding. He drops everything he is doing, runs to my truck. Hey, don't pull into this garage no more. He said it with a tone, right? So I say to him, I say, bro, I didn't pull in your garage. If you see where I'm at right now, I hit the shadow line, bro. I ain't pulling into your garage. He said, don't pull into this garage no more. I said, man, I waved him off. Whatever, man. He said, don't do it again. That sent me off right there. Cussed his ass out, right? When I cussed his ass out, I got some straightening, right? He winds up calling Blair, and he calls Eagle Steel, right? So Eagle Steel, I told dude what happened. He said, man, wave the shit off, Blair. Same shit. I told him I'm big on my respect, bro. I've been over 5 years. I don't disrespect nobody. I ain't never got into it with nobody over here. I don't get into it with motherfuckers on the road. I avoid conflict because I know where that shit can lead to when it's dealing with me. I know where to lead to, so I try to avoid conflict at all costs, right? So we got some understanding with that shit. Pulled in, got loaded, tarped my code. Week went fine, right? So I get up to where that cord delivered to. That cord delivered in fuck did I deliver that cord to? That cord delivered in Gadsden, Alabama. I wound up having another load that went to picked up some lumber out of Millport, Alabama, going to Milan, Tennessee. Once I got that lumber off in Milan, Tennessee, it was about 80 miles from Memphis. I grabbed a reload out of Memphis going to Michigan City, Indiana, right? I done ran this load before. Usually these people let you get that shit off a day early. So I'm like, I'm gonna run it straight through. It's a 577 mile run. I had a damn near full clock. Only thing I ran off was 80 mile deadhead. So I'm like, I can get this shit off first thing in the morning. So I grabbed that load and shoot down there to Michigan City, Indiana. Make it down there. Pull up there. I don't call the foremans at some of these job sites, right? I pop up unannounced, right? Which is probably my fault and which led to the back and forth between me and dude, right? Half of the time they don't answer. In this particular instance, the foreman number that was listed on his job site ain't even working at the company no more, right? So this is a whole different dude. But this just happened the next day when I called and figured it out, right? But I didn't call him beforehand. So I pull up down there, park on the street, walk up there. Hey, bro, I'm here with a load. You get the going off. Look at your paper. What you mean? I look at it. Okay, he say, what the date say? I say, hold up, man. Nah, if I'm early, just say I'm early, bro. You ain't finna unload this shit, and I'll come back down here tomorrow. You get to go. I'm tired of this shit. Y'all always bringing this shit in here days early. We don't got the proof. We short staff, and we don't get to going off. So I get right back with them, bro. Listen, man, I don't do the disrespect, my guy. You feel me? If you didn't want this shit a day early, just say, bro, I can't take this shit a day early. I'll go find somewhere to park and come back down to this motherfucker in the morning and do all that shit. I said it. It was more explicit than how I said it, though, right? So me and him grappled back and forth. I wound up leaving. I still made a day of it. Went to Planet Fitness, worked out. Went to Longhorn, had me a good ass steak. Slept good that night. Just a relaxing day, right down there. This is Michigan City, so it's Gary, Indiana. It's a lot of shit to do around the area, right? So I done all that shit. Go back the next morning. Me and him, he seen me down there sitting. He walked down there, and we both apologized to each other and admitted. He's like, man, I was frustrated yesterday, irritated. I apologize. I said, man, I apologize for snapping off on you too. I was just trying to get this shit up early. That way I can get the fuck back down soft. I could have been at the crib right now, which was Friday morning, like 7 a.m. I'm like, man, I could have been down. I could have been at the crib chilling right now, bro. That's why I was trying to get this shit off. But we wound up getting that shit unloaded and going. But my problem is I feel like I see it a lot, right? I seen it in Columbia City. Now with me, it happened with me. I was picking up a load in Columbia City. The crane operator had a badass attitude, right? And I'm thinking, I know how I am. I'm like, man, maybe I'm tripping and I'm overthinking this situation. So maybe I'm tripping, I'm overthinking the situation. So, but another guy pulled in behind me, right? Same shit. They get to arguing because he didn't want the guy was picking up some oversized beams out of SDI in Columbia City, right? The crane, the lift operator didn't want to allow him to first make sure the beams he had enough hangover in the front and back. He didn't want to allow him to do that, and then he didn't want to allow him to go to the back and make sure they was lined up evenly on the trailer, right? So they going back and forth, arguing like a motherfucker. They damn near about to fight. So the truck driver just like, fuck it, he walk off, he go get somebody else, and they come back and, you know what I'm saying, load his trailer and all that shit. But I'm seeing this a lot. I don't know if it's, and I don't want to say this, but I don't know if it's like the they feel emboldened by MAGA or some shit like that, or what. But it's kind of like motherfuckers is just, they disrespectful, bro. Respect goes a long way, especially with men. Respect goes a long way, especially with men. You feel what I'm saying? Because shit'll go left in a heartbeat when you're dealing with a man. Shit'll go left in a heartbeat and motherfuckers will be crashing the fuck out. So you gotta learn to play shit right and be respectful when you're dealing with people, bro. But that's a nutshell of how my week went. I feel like it was a test, really by God, to see how far I came as a man, see how I handle situations and so forth and shit like that. But that was my week in a nutshell, man. Hey, I think I passed the test. That one guy got some straightening though. I think he gonna think twice before he ever approach somebody else like that. But yeah, man, that's my week in a nutshell, man. I'm just touching